Dave asked for some neck stuff.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little lazy today. So like yoga on
Well,
the lazy
Jay.
side. Or maybe you should challenge me more to wake me up.
Well, that's what, yeah, I'm going to go by what you actually said, that you're feeling lazy, not that you're exhausted. That's two different things.
That's correct. I'm not feeling exhausted, lazy.
Yeah. Okay. That's something different. All right. Um, well, then we'll play it by ear based on what you guys told me. All right. So let's come into your easy seated position. And again, if you need to sit with your hips higher, do that. Trying to get as much space and opening in your knees as possible. The hope is eventually to get to the point where you can feel like the sides of your feet and your shins on the floor. But that's not the main goal. The main goal, again, anytime that you're sitting, is to get this nice, like, perpendicularness to your pelvis so you can feel your sacrum and truly like sitting against the wall and feeling that your sacrum is flat against the wall. That's what you want to be able to accomplish in a seated position in the middle of the room. And if you can't do that sitting flat on the floor, then lifting your hips up a little bit higher, sitting on something is the way to do it. All right, find your easy seat. Start with your torso rotation. These movements are for your body. So you can, we'll do, let's say like 10 or so of these. I'm not counting, I'm just going by what feels right. But we'll do about like that. So whatever you feel like you want to do, big circles, little circles, all in this one direction. And one thing I would suggest when it comes to these torso rotations is don't force anything or don't try to like purposely overstretch. I've done that before and I've pulled muscles in my back and my hip doing that. So you're just getting movement. You're literally just warming things up. This isn't necessarily supposed to be an actual deep stretch. So work your way up your torso. And getting movement in center of your spine, your chest, your shoulders. Let's do a few more of these and then we're going to switch sides. When you're ready, come back to center. Other leg in front. Let's rotate in the opposite direction. And remember, as you're doing these movements, these warm-ups, as well as the whole practice, notice what you feel throughout your body and just take note of it. And maybe think about what kinds of things you're doing with your body that are causing that sensation on one side, but maybe not the other. So to work your way up your spine. I'll do a few more before we move to the next thing. All right, come back to center, grab onto your shins, rock over your sit bones. Inhale, belly button forward, exhale it back. Rock on your pelvis. Use your shins to pull yourself forward. And you're really focusing on pulling maybe those hip bones towards your ankles. You may also feel that you're getting a stretch on your belly muscles, your abdominal muscles as well. Okay, bring your hands to your knees, inhale your chest forward, exhale it back. And although the focus is on your chest and your upper back, you can't help but move other parts of your spine. We're really focusing on opening up the chest, pulling those shoulder blades together, getting those back muscles warm and engaged, and getting the front chest muscles to just gently start to stretch and open. On your next inhale, lift your chin to the ceiling. And exhale, chin to chest. And we're going to do this several times. So do this on your own. Inhaling, lifting your chin, getting a stretch to the throat. And on your exhale, you bring it down to your chest. So just like with what happens with your chest muscles shortening and your back muscles overstretching, when you're doing a lot of computer work, getting a lot of stretch on the back neck muscles, and then the shortened muscles are in the front, in your throat, and that draw down into your chest, which can also have an impact on the whole breathing functionality, the whole breathing apparatus. So getting a stretch on the front of the throat is just as important as getting a stretch on the front of the chest. The next time you find your chin down at your chest, keep it there. Drop your shoulders. So feel like you're trying to exaggerate the length of your back body while drawing your chin towards your chest, noticing if you can feel that stretch all the way down your back. Those back muscles go from the base of your skull down your spine. All the way down to the top of your pelvis. And then however you want to do it, following your breath or just some other cadence, sliding your chin from one shoulder to the next across your chest, doing your best to try to keep your chin against your chest. So what we're working on here is getting that kind of rotational stretch to the muscles that attach, the suboccipitals that attach to the base of the skull. You may also feel the muscles that are going into the throat. You may feel them down your back. And let's go up and over and around. And again, in your own time, just lifting your chin up and over from one shoulder to the other, not touching the shoulder, keeping the shoulders dropped. Noticing the muscles, noticing whatever sensations might arise here, lifting the chin from one side to the other. This movement always causes like, I want my ears to itch because I'm actually stretching the muscles that are going that far up into my skull and the muscles on the side of the skull. And then when you're ready, bring your head back to center and let's just do a side to side. So you're shaking your head no. But again, keeping your shoulders dropped. And then add in the movement of your eyeballs. So just as if we were going to do a deeper twist of the spine, look over your shoulder with your eyes. So you're even getting those eye muscles. We'll do a couple more of these. And then bring your head to center, and we're going to just roll around your neck. And we'll do one more. When you find your chin back to your chest, bring your head back up again. Arm distance away from everybody and everything. Left arm out to the left, right hand to your heart. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Your rotation starts from your waist. So the movement of your arms helps this, but you want to make sure that you're actually using some abdominal strength to draw the ribs back, one side and then the other, so that eventually you actually feel like your arms are being swung, not that they are making the motion happen. Now switch so that you're inhaling on the right, exhaling on the left. It's a subtle switch, but it matters. And slow down, come back to center. Let's pause for a few breaths in the middle. Dropping your shoulders. Let your jaw be soft, and see if you can practice. If you're a jaw clencher, see if you can practice keeping the jaw soft and maybe even letting your tongue be soft and letting your tongue rest in between your back molars. And when you're ready, bring yourself to hands and knees. Knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders, fingers are spread. We're going to do a little bit of mandala here. So picking the right leg, big circles with your right leg, and you're making the circle with the knee. So imagine that you've got a crayon on the tip of your right knee, and you're making big circles on the wall next to you. So don't get stuck in having your elbows locked. Let your elbows be soft. Let your left hip even be soft so that your body can move and do whatever it needs to do to make this rotation happen. Okay, when your knee points to the bottom, let's go in the opposite direction, same knee. So we're using different muscles to make this circle go in the opposite direction. And try to challenge yourself. So if you find yourself making less than a circle, making a sort of flattened oval, see if you can really engage some really deeper muscles to get a bigger circle. All right, right knee to the ground. Let's do that on the other side. Pick a direction with your left knee, go for it. Big circles. See what you have to do with the other parts of your body to make the circle as big as you possibly can. Okay, next time the knee points down, let's go in the opposite direction. Do one more big circle with this leg. Both knees on the ground. Curl your toes under. Let's come into a down dog. Pedal your feet. So I want you to purposely, so don't worry about how spectacular or not your down dog is. I want you to really try to get one heel to press to the floor and then the other. So we're looking for that calf muscle stretch. So if that the opposing knee has to go really deep, you have to round your back. Okay, now work on drawing both heels towards the floor. Again, doesn't matter what your down dog looks like. If your knees need to be bent more to see if you can get your heels to stretch towards the floor, maybe bending both knees, seeing what that's like, working on getting that stretch on the back of the legs. And then switch your focus to what's going on with your upper body, pressing your palms into the floor, fingers are spread. Take a peek at your wrists and make sure that the folds of your wrists are parallel to the top of the mat. Lengthen your arms, pull your hips away from your hands. And let's come forward into a plank. So if your down dog started with your knees directly underneath your hips and you curled your toes under, came into a down dog, then your plank shouldn't require you to move much at all. Because what happens is, and I don't know how well you can actually see me on the screen here, my heels are back and I've got like a 45-degree angle to my heels, because when you come forward into a pre-chaturanga, this brings your shoulders forward of your wrists. So that's kind of the mechanics of that whole movement there, but I'd like you to keep it so that your heels are drawing back away from your shoulders. Pull the tips of your ears away from your heels. Now push yourself forward. We're working on getting a stretch on the toes so that maybe only a couple toes are still touching the floor. And then pull your heels back, getting a little bit of upper body here. And then pull your hips back into your down dog. Because I'm talking, my breath isn't fantastic, but you guys aren't talking. So make sure that your breath is nice and even. Breathing through the nose, keeping your face relaxed. So do that again. Bring yourself forward into your plank, shoulders over your wrists. Heels press away from the tips of your ears. And pull the tips of your ears away from your heels. So when I say that, I kind of mean that so that you can lengthen your neck. Fingers are spread. Notice if you're pressing equally into all parts of your palm, the base of the thumb, the base of the pointer finger, middle finger. Let's come forward under the tips of your toes, pressing forward so that your shoulders come forward over your wrists. And then pull back into your down dog again. Step between your hands. Let's go into a half lift. Grab onto your big toes with the first two fingers of either hand. If your knees have to be bent to do this, go for it. Lift your chest away from the floor. You're pulling up away from your big toes. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Nice deep breaths, pulling your shoulders away from your ears. We're going to hang on to this for a few more breaths. While we're here, press the base of your big toes, the balls of your big toes into the floor, and you're pulling your chest up away from your big toes. So you're creating this tension as you're pulling against your big toe. Your feet are pressing into the floor. Maybe see about how much length you can find in the backs of your knees. And then think about how you can draw your belly button in between your thighs, tilting the pelvis forward, lifting your sit bones up behind you. Whatever kind of intention you want to try to figure out for that. They're all the magical things that yoga teachers say, but sometimes I have no idea what yoga teachers are talking about. Pull the elbows out to the side, still hold onto your big toes. Let the crown of your head hang towards the floor. Let go of your neck muscles. See if you can let your skull just hang. 9, 12, 13 pounds. Let it just hang. Nice deep breaths. Relax your jaw. Release your big toes. Arms come out to the side. Press your feet into the floor and press your ankles out to the side. Arms come out like an airplane. Press into the floor. Press yourself up. Look up to your thumbs. Palms meet. Then hands come down to heart center. Dropping your shoulders. Feel your shoulder blades pull together behind you. Let's move through a classical sun. Inhale your arms forward, up and back. Press your hips forward, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, come forward and down. Inhale, half lift, lift your chest and chin. Exhale, left leg back, knee to the ground. Inhale, palms meet overhead, look up to your thumbs. Maybe your hips press forward, maybe not. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale to plank. Lengthen your back body. Exhale, come down to your knees, your chest, and your chin. Keep your elbows bent. Forearms are off the floor. It's a tricky pose. Inhale, slide forward into cobra. Elbows stay pointing back towards your feet. Exhale to down dog. Pull your hips back. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Big lift. Try to keep that leg straight. Exhale, step that foot between your hands, right knee to the floor. Inhale, palms meet overhead. Look up to your thumb. Big reach. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step to the top, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms forward, up and back. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Again, inhale, arms forward, up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift. Right leg back. Don't put your knee to the ground. Inhale, palms meet overhead. See if you can look up to your thumbs. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale to plank. Exhale to knees, chest, and chin. Cobra, inhale, elbows stay bent. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Exhale it to the top. Don't put your knee down. Palms meet overhead. Inhale up, look up maybe. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step forward, half lift. Fold forward. Arms forward, up and back. Exhale, hands come to heart center. All right, take a big step back with your right foot. We're gonna stay facing forward. Hands come to heart center. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Let's go for a little bit of a twist. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Stack your wrists, stack your elbows, gently press your palms together. Lengthen the crown of your head away from your right heel. Deep breaths. Unwind, face towards the floor. Bring your arms alongside your ears. You're still facing the floor. I have my thumbs hooked to try to keep my palms together. See if you can press your arms closer to your ears. See if you can feel your ears with your arms. And bring your shoulders over your hips. Belly button draws into your spine. Let's open into warrior two. Right heel to the floor. Take a peek if you need to. Make sure that back foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Take a look at your arms, shoulder heights. Relax the tops of your shoulders. Let's go into a triangle. Straighten your left leg, tip. You can use your shin. If you've got your hand on your shin, try not to let all of your body weight rest on your arm though. You don't want to hyperextend your knee. Also, if you know that you do hyperextend, if you've got super flexible joints, then put a little micro bend in your knee. And if you're super flexible, even a micro bend might feel like your knee is at a right angle. It might feel weird because you're so used to it being hyperextended. Okay, I want to double dog dare you here. See if you can get your weight off of your left hand. Reach up to the ceiling with your right hand. So you've got 0 weight on your left arm. It's just dangling down from your shoulder. Press your feet into the floor. Nice long spine. Okay, feel like your giant friend is pulling up on your right hand. Pull yourself back up. Come back into warrior two. Let's go into extended right angle. Left hand comes down to the floor, perhaps. Right arm reaches away from your right foot. If this is too much for your left hip, then left elbow to left knee. If your elbow's on your knee, you're not resting your body weight on there. You can still have jolly elbows. Okay, come back to your warrior two. Bring yourself up. We're going to use momentum from the right arm to swing and step to the top. Big step up, right foot next to left. Graceful, lovely, nice. Okay, shift your weight to your right foot, big step back with your left foot. You're facing forward. You know the floor is behind you. Don't be afraid to take a big step. Relax the tops of your shoulders, nice breaths. If you have to start over and take a big step again, do that. So you're looking for a step that's going to take up the length of your mat. The average mat is 6 feet. I am 5'4" and I take up most of my mat. Palms are together at heart center. Let's go for a twist. Left elbow to right knee. Stack your palms, stack your elbows. Pressing your palms together, lengthen your body. Deep breaths. Relax your face, your teeth. Rotate, face the floor. Long arms next to your ears. Hook your thumbs to keep your palms together. So you can get the insides of your arms to press against your ears. And bring your shoulders over your hips. Pull your belly button into your spine. So this might feel like you're pulling your low back into the wall behind you. Deep breaths. Drop your shoulders down. You can drop your shoulders and still have your arms touch your ears. Open into warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. That right knee draws to the right. Check your alignment. Go for a triangle, straighten your right leg, tip. Right hand maybe starts on your shin again. Not a whole lot of weight. You're not trying to hyperextend your right knee. Micro bend if you need to. Maybe as you're breathing, maybe your right hand sneaks down, maybe towards your ankle. Maybe your right hand gets to the floor. Do whatever works for this side. But now lift your left hand up to the ceiling just a little bit to get the weight off of the right hand. Press both feet into the floor. Try not to cheat and press the back of your hand into the inside of your calf. Let the right arm dangle. Okay, pull up with your left hand. Come back into warrior two. Right knee over the right ankle. Go for extended right angle. Either your elbows on your knee or your right hand just to the floor inside of your right foot. And if your hand is on the floor, make sure that you've got your right arm and your right leg are pressing into one another. Depending on your body structure, my shoulder can press against my knee. I guess that means my arm is as long as my right leg. From your knee to your heel is considered your leg. From your hip to your knee is considered your thigh. Just letting you know. Come back up to warrior two. Okay, we're going to use that left arm, swing it, step to the top. Graceful, hands to heart center. Nice. Let's go for a series A, sun salutation. Inhale, arms out and overhead, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift. Plank. Come forward under your tippy toes, lower down to chaturanga. We're going to stay over a breath. So take a peek, shoulders in line with your elbows. If you need to, knees touch the floor. Inhale to up dog. Press up, straighten up. We're going to hang out here. So tops of the feet are on the floor. Let's get a stretch in the tops of the toes. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Engage your quadriceps. Maybe you can get your shins and your quadriceps off the floor. So this is a deep back bend, perhaps. If your thighs are off the floor, the deeper back bend than if your thighs are resting on the floor. Okay, let's move this into a down dog. See if you can roll over your toes and draw your hips back. And I usually do need to step my feet forward. Okay, I'm going to double dog dare you to hop your feet to the outsides of your hands. Okay, so we're going to go for Kundalini Crow. Arms go through your legs, wrap them around, thumbs are on top of your feet. So you're going to keep your torso, your thighs, parallel to the floor. Lengthen the crown of your head away from your tailbone. So this is also, for me, this is a great stretch on my hands. So your fingers are out to the side like crow feet. So this gives me a stretch on my palms. It's also a deep hip stretch. We're going to hang out for a couple more breaths here. Okay, lift your hips, unwind your hands, grab onto your big toes with the first two fingers of either hand. Lift your hips, bring your feet parallel to one another. So my feet are on either side of my mat. Draw the crown of your head towards the floor. Bring your hands to the mat and the inside of your feet. Step yourself back into plank. We're going to go for side plank. So you can either start with your left knee on the floor and come to the side, or you can come from straight leg, come onto the pinky toe side of your left foot, stack your right foot on top of your left, open up, reach up. Take nice long deep breaths. Reach your right hand up to the ceiling so that your intention is lifting up, not sinking into the shoulder. See how much space you can create between your left ear and your shoulder. And then from your left shoulder to your left elbow. Come back down into plank, both feet to the floor, resituate your plank. We're going to do that on the other side. Again, either right knee to the floor and open up, or straight right leg, pinky toe side to the floor, stack your feet, reach up. So your right elbow, unless it hyperextends, is in a locked position. The bones locking does protect the joint. If you have shoulder elbow issues, you can be on your forearm and reach yourself up. And come back into regular old plank. Come down to your forearms. Make sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Press your palms together. We're coming into dolphin. Lift your hips. Walk your toes towards your elbows. Keep your heels lifted. Keep your head lifted. Take 5 breaths here. Press into your forearms. Push your pinkies into the floor and get your weight out of your shoulders. So see if you can lift up. Don't let yourself sink into your shoulders. And come down to your knees and come into child's pose. You can stack your forearms and let your forehead rest on your forearms if that feels good. Bring yourself up, legs in front. Go for a twist. Bring your right foot in. And with this right foot, we're not crossing it over the body. I want your foot, pinky toe side, to be more towards the line of your hip here. So your foot isn't into your thigh, it's wider open. Okay. Bring your right arm up, over and around, opening up your chest. Reach your left arm up, elbow to the outside. So this gets the little hook, i.e. your knee, that you're using for your twist. It gets a little bit further away from your body than usual. That left foot, keep it flexed. Toes up towards the ceiling. Now, make sure that you have this right arm, the one behind you. Make sure it's as close to your torso as possible. You want to get your torso perpendicular to the floor. Let's rotate your head. Look behind you. Keep that left foot flexed. When you exhale, pull your belly into your spine, like you're pulling it away from that thigh. And then any space you create because you're pulling your belly in away from the thigh, then you can go a little bit deeper into your twist perhaps. Keep your body twisted, look forward. and unwind. Straighten out your right leg, bring your left foot in. Again, the pinky toe side of that foot is in line with the outside of the left hip. Left arm up, over and around. This helps open up that left chest and sneak that left arm close in. Reach your right arm up, elbow to the outside, sneak some belly away from the thigh already. Sit nice and tall. Right toes point up to the ceiling. You only go as far into a twist as you can still maintain a full inhale and exhale. So on your inhales, your belly is pressing into that thigh. On the exhales, you're pulling your belly away from your thigh. Look over your left shoulder, get that rotation all the way up into your cervical spine, your neck. Look forward and unwind. Nice. All right. So last week we did boat pose. This week we're going to do one step further with our boat pose. So bring your feet in. Ankles and knees are together. You know what? Don't worry about ankles and knees together. Grab onto your big toes. So your arms are in between your knees to start off with. But before you do anything, before you do any straightening of the legs, because that's where we're going with this, draw your shoulder blades together. So I want you to balance on your sit bones just like this. If this is a challenge, then this is your pose. But what I'd like you to try to do next is keep your shoulder blades drawing together. Your big toes are pressing into your fingers. So the tension you're creating of pulling your big toes and pressing your big toes into your fingers is what's going to help this pose. So see what your hamstrings will do for you, but you're keeping that tension, pulling your shoulder blades together and working on lengthening up. Lift your chest to the ceiling and even look to the ceiling, because where your gaze goes is where your body goes. Remember to breathe. Okay, let's see if you're going to open it up. Draw the feet apart. Keep that tension. Big toes pressing into your fingers, fingers pulling on the big toes. Keep your chest lifting, shoulder blades drawing together. You bring the soles of your feet together. We're just coming into cobbler pose. Bring them down to the floor. Keep a hold of your big toes just like you are. Pinkies pressed together, pinky toes pressed together. Base of the big toes, see if you can keep them apart. Shoulder blades draw together. Sitting nice and tall. Engage Mula Bandha. Lift your pelvic floor muscles. Engage Uddiyana Bandha. Bring your belly button into your spine. Let's go for Jalandhara Bandha, chin into your chest. Full Jalandhara, tip of the tongue goes back to your uvula. The focus here is keeping all three bandhas engaged while you're breathing. Relax your bandhas, grab onto your toes, draw yourself forward and down, elbows come out to the side. Keep drawing your shoulder blades together. You want this nice flat back. Nice long back, you're not rounding. So if your hamstrings, psoas, hips are tight, then your cobbler pose may be totally seated upright, and that's fine. Keep your shoulder blades together. So you're getting this super engagement in your upper back muscles. And when you're pulling your elbows out and down, maybe you can press your elbows, maybe they touch your thighs, maybe they touch your knees. That intention is to get your shoulders out of your ears and to keep a nice long back. Now purposely round your back, chin to your chest, elbows hug in, pull your forehead down to your big toes. Nice deep breaths. And lengthen yourself up, pound your inner thighs. Okay, let's go for another symmetrical pose, Paschimottanasana, legs out in front. Inhale, arms out and overhead, and exhale, come forward and down. So this is a nice deep stretch for the backside of your body. If it feels good to you, bring your chin into your chest. I'll give you an added stretch on the spinal muscles, spinal cord. And your arms alongside your ears. Inhale, bring yourself up. And exhale, arms down to the sides. Okay, come onto your back. Arms out to the side like a T. Cross your right leg over your left. You can wrap your foot around your ankle if you like. Lower your legs to the left. Get your legs all the way to the floor. Let your legs create the twist, even if that draws your right arm up off the floor. Notice if you can get any more length out of your spine. Do a little inchworm, lengthen it out. With every exhale, draw your right shoulder blade down to the floor. Right arm reaches out, getting that stretch in the armpit. Pec minor and major. Bring your knees to center. Left leg wraps around right, maybe even the ankle, and lower your legs to the right. Nice deep breaths. Don't be afraid of your inhale taking you out of the twist a little bit. Your body moves with the breath. The breath creates the pose. Bring your knees back to center. Unwrap your legs, bring your knees into your chest, arms next to your torso, and draw circles on the ceiling with your knees, big circles. Go in the opposite direction. And feet to the floor. Let's prepare for Shavasana. Whatever is your favorite Shavasana, do it now. Use all the propping and padding you need so that your body is not a distraction. We have enough of a distraction with what is going on in the mind, which is what we are working with. Once you find your spot, take a deep inhale and sigh. Another deep inhale and sigh. And let it go, and an easy breath. An effortless breath. Let your skull be heavy. Relax your face muscles and your jaw. And if you need to, lift your eyebrows, put them back down again to relax your face. Relax your arms, let them be heavy, and then let them melt. Soften your palms, your thumbs, your fingers. Soften your chest, your belly, your low back. If you can release more tension from your hips and your pelvis and your thighs. Remember to keep your face soft and relaxed. Soften your knees, your calves, your ankles. Soften the tops of your feet and the soles of your feet. Let all remaining tension drip off the tips of your toes, tips of your fingers, and release out through the crown of your head. If your mind is wandering, try practicing Hamsa. On your inhales, think hum. Exhales, think sa. Start to deepen your breath. Feeling weight come back to your body, feeling the floor supporting you. Notice the texture of whatever is touching your skin from the floor, from your clothes, from your mat. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, moving your wrists and ankles. Reaching your arms above you, legs stretch away from you. And when you're ready, roll to one side and let your head rest on your bent arm. Notice the difference in what it's like to breathe on your side. Feel the weight of your body resting against the floor on this side. And make your way back up to seated, kneeling or cross-legged, whatever feels best to you. Take a moment to notice any sensations, the difference in what it feels like to now be upright. Soften your face and your jaw. Sit a little bit taller. Take a deep inhale. Blow it out. Deep inhale and hold. Blow it out. One more inhale and hold. Blow it out. Find your natural breath. Lift the sides of your mouth. Think a positive thought about yourself. Think a positive thought about someone you love. And whatever positive feelings and energy that caused to arise in you, send some of that out to the universe. Visualize what it looks like leaving your body. Let it float. Imagine it going out your windows, out into the neighborhood, and let it be taken by the breeze. Let it stick to anyone. May all beings in the universe be happy and free. And may our actions and our thoughts contribute to their happiness and their freedom. Namaste, everyone. Well, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Next week starts our, we'll have Tuesday, same time, same place. And then next Friday, February 5th, because February is next week. Next Friday starts the 7:30 a.m. classes. It'll be this exact same link and password that you used for this. And then we'll try that out for a few months. And if we need to change it, we will. So there you go. Thanks, everyone. And I will see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye, guys.